Welcome to episode 2 of In John's Car. And today, I am with Sam Reaper.
Hey everybody.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, first and foremost, I believe I'm a human being, number one. No, alright.
Good.
I play guitar, lead guitar in Hyperdoom. Everyone contributes equally, but as for me, I'm the lead guitarist and I do my solo work as well. And I'm working on that solo album, so check that out when it's out.
Okay, so what made you want to play guitar? Why'd you choose that instrument?
That's actually a really good question. It roots back to when I was a kid. I learned at like the age of 3 I picked up, there's these little, man, I wish I knew the name of it now, little like piano keyboard things where you blow into it, and I learned keyboard for a long time. It took like 9 years of lessons and of piano rather than keyboard. However, it got dull and boring, and I saw Marty Friedman, you know, he played in Megadeth, you know, for a while in solo career, and Cacophony with Jason Becker, and I really, he played this solo in this song called Forbidden City off his, it's like the 8th last track off of his solo album Dragon's Kiss, and I heard this solo at like 5 minutes in or something. It's where this tempo change happens, and I was hooked. I was like, alright, I dropped whatever I was holding, and I was like, alright, I have to play this now. Now, I initially got a guitar. It was a crappy one from like a department store. It's not going to be any good, but then I went out and got a better one. But that's when I seriously wanted to play it. I heard that solo, and I immediately was like, holy crap, dude, like, that's insane.
Yeah. So is there any other instruments besides guitar? You mentioned piano that you also play.
Yes, I took vocal lessons when I went to Harper College for a short time, and before that I'd been doing a lot of training on my own trainings and studies. You know, just using the music theory knowledge I have and sort of using my guitar as my harmony to pitch, get the right pitch with my vocal, and work out arpeggios and scales. But other than that, I play a little drums. I'm not amazing. I'm very mediocre, and
Just know the basics, I'm guessing.
yeah. And speaking of bass guitar a little bit. I'm you know, again, guitar is my primary instrument, but I did a lot of study with, you know, slap guitar and bass and slap bass. So those are the instruments that I can name off the top of my head. So
Okay.
oh, and ocarina too.
What is that?
It's a little woodwind clay instrument, and you know, in The Legend of Zelda.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah, anyone watching this, boom.
Oh.
If you got that, you got my credibility already. So, yeah. So that in The Legend of Zelda, that's the little. It has the Triforce on it. Actually, it's really cool.
Do you actually have it?
I have it in my house. Yeah. You take a picture and put it in later.
All right, we'll do that later.
Yeah.
So what are some of your short-term goals and long-term goals that you have in mind?
In accordance to my goals and aspirations, definitely short-term is, at the moment, I'm really working on saving up to build my own little home studio and learning as much knowledge as I can in sound engineering as well, so that I can sort of do my own guitar parts without worrying about, hey man, like I gotta go to a studio and get someone to work out EQs and work out on my tone, and you know, I'm saving up for like an XFX too, because I mean, who doesn't use XFX now, you know, or Kemper profiling amps, but saving up for those kind of things, and always long-term goal is to learn, always learn, and never come to any conclusions, because then I'll just close my mind to all other opportunities. And biggest long-term goal is to make my band my core job, whether that means I live in a crappy old apartment, you know, like cockroaches and, you know, as long as I'm making music that people can relate to and that I can creatively express with integrity, that's my longest term goal, and that'll forever go. I won't stop doing that, you know, no matter what. So
Okay, so where do you see yourself in 10 years?
that's a good question. Something I've thought about a lot of, actually, roughly in a year range. Definitely 10 years from now, already have gone back maybe to college for a little bit to study a little more music theory, or rather compositional theory. I've done my musical theory studies, but compositional theory studies, so I can make cinematics for, you know, movies, and as well as compose for all different outlets, such as like I'm working on. Can't be explicit, but I'm composing music for video games, and hopefully in 10 years that'll be done. We never know. That could be like 20 years. I don't know. But it may not happen. I didn't say it, but you know, things change all the time. Adaptability is intelligence. But and you know, Hyperdoom all the way, and my solo career. And if anything happens, one of those two is definitely going to still continue. So.
Okay. So. You have a smartphone, obviously, right?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. So, there's this big thing going on right now. It's called Pokemon Go. Do you have that game?
I do not, but I've owned every other Pokemon game, even Pokemon Snapshot, I think it was, or something for the N64. Way back in the day. Yeah, it was, and Coliseum, is that the one? Yeah, for the N64.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, and then I had the GameCube ones, and I had all the little DS and Game Boy, and nothing past Platinum though. So I'm sorry, I should correct myself. I didn't own anything past Platinum, so that's why I don't have Pokemon Go now, because my memory, once I get a micro SD card for my phone, I'll have Pokemon Go probably.
Yeah.
So
what team you think you're gonna join then?
I'm not too familiar with all the teams, but one of my favorite Pokemon and is what's that? It's Zapdos. What's that team? Is that
Yellow?
Yeah, Yellow. That's
Instinct or whatever they're called.
I think Mystic was the blue one.
Yeah.
Valor's red, and then Yellow is.
I think it's Instinct.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's it. So either that or Mystic, just because I like Articuno a lot too. One of my favorite Pokemon. Yeah.
That guy looks so cool.
Oh yeah, Ice Beam, dude. You know, little Game Boy games. Ice Beam was the best for that. Anyways.
Okay. Artists that inspire you. Like guitar.
Oh man.
You already mentioned Marty Freeman, I believe, right?
Yes. Very much. I suppose any new artist that I find really interesting. Lately, I've been really listening to a lot of Angel Vivaldi. He's really good. I listen to stuff and I'm like, whoa! Now I want to write. You know, even more.
So what kind of style does that guy do?
It's very
does
much,
like every artist that you get inspired by have a different style, or it's pretty much similar?
Very different. There could be like two guys in one area and you know, some chick here or that, in all sorts of areas, because you know, I always want to learn so many different things from every avenue, and if I'm stuck like, oh, I just want to learn like heavy metal, and you know, well, that's my primary favorite kind of thing, but I learn a lot of classical music too. Like anytime I sit down and listen to Johann Sebastian Bach or Beethoven's piano pieces and Rachmaninoff, those are and Jason Becker always. So, and Jason Richardson as of late, because his new album One is coming out, and that is going to be a monster. So inspiration right there. Polyphia as well.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Oh yeah. So
so what do you think of Hominine Records and being on this record label?
I think it is absolutely the best choice I've made so far. I thought I was going to say something. No, I'm kidding.
What makes it the best choice?
Other than picking up guitar and making music, but because I've joined a little community here where I was isolated on my own little like that movie that dude who's on the island talking to the volleyball, you know, I forgot what that is, but anyways.
Wait, what?
Never mind. Castaway, that's the movie. So anyways, I felt like that dude, you know, so I was so stuck in my own box, in my own little social world of the very few contacts that I'd made, slowly building up, you know, but once I had met Zach, you know, we hadn't talked for a long time, and then he had brought up the idea of, you know, well, here's this record label that I have, you know, and your band, I like what you're doing. And I'm like, I don't, but I appreciate it. And we didn't sign initially because we had a different band title called Stardust, but then we decided once Hyperdoom came along, you know, it was almost like a fresh start, and I think it really helped us because it gave us more morale, you know. It was like a boost, like, wow, a confidence boost. Finally, like, somebody's interested in our music, and like a label, you know, we'd have like Standby Records was from my previous band, or the first evolution of this band, Stardust. They were like, well, we want to, you know, have you come out. And I'm like, nah, you know, I appreciate it, but it's not, we weren't matured enough, or maturing at the rate that we are, rather. But definitely to sorry for going in circles. To answer your question, the best choice because it's really opened a lot of doors. I've met a lot of great people. I mean, this guy.
Pretty sweet.
Oh yeah. So, and I mean, just, there's so many good people and so much good vibe, and my band, I think so much more confidence has come from this decision. And I'm not saying this to sell it, I'm saying this because it's the truth that I believe. Everyone sees through different eyes, but it's definitely the best choice because so much opportunity has been granted. I mean, creating opportunity is one thing, but seizing it is another, and I couldn't pass this opportunity up again, so it's really opened a lot of doors. And
pretty much everyone on this label are friends. So I mean, yeah, it even works out more.
Yeah, there's no
making new friendships too. So
yeah, there's
it's all about that too.
Yeah, there's like no enemies. There's no like arguing. And I've worked with other bands who we butted heads, and other musicians too. And it's like everybody gets along. A lot of people play in similar veins, but even if we play different things, I mean, even like, pardon me, in A Dying Ultimatum, they do like this rap rock, new metal sort of thing, and like typically I'm not into hip hop. It takes a lot, or rap. It takes a lot. I like old school hip hop, but I love their stuff. It's just so, it's like a fresh thing. It's like it's just new, and I was grateful to be able to work with them, and that was, everyone gets along, and that's the biggest highlight of this label. And matter of fact, because I mean, you're less effective if you're not enjoying your environment that you're around. So,
yeah, true. So would you rather pick love or money?
Love, definitely.
Why is that?
That first, because I'm seeking my own self-love, self-acceptance. But once I can find someone who can accept me and I can accept them for who they are, I mean, that it's like this humble sort of connection and better understanding of each other, as opposed to money. Money never really made me satisfied. I could buy all the gear and like be a gear whore and buy all this, like, I could buy like 5 Axe effects or whatever with a bunch of money, or not to bring that company up a bunch, Fractal Audio, I love it, but I mean, just, but it doesn't complete that for me, that emotional connection that I have with another human being, and that's, for me, love is, it's a maturing thing. And like, for me, I wouldn't want the idea of young love, which I've had, which is fire burning. It's beautiful, but it dies out very fast, as opposed to maturing love, which is cold. It burns for a long time. It may not seem as beautiful, but it is. However, it burns for such a long time, and I just love that idea. And I like being with a significant other and learning, because money cannot teach me. I can go to school and buy books, but it doesn't have that emotional level of teaching that another human being does, especially someone who you can understand and relate to directly. And that's why. That's in very broken down in a nutshell. So,
plus, you can't really buy love.
That's true,
Unless it's a prostitute, then that's a different story.
Or those like...
That's not really love, though. It's more like lust.
Yeah, it's lust. I mean, also like those like Japanese sex robots or whatever.
Holy hell.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Places that you want to visit.
Well, notably, actually, Japan.
And you're gonna say that.
I know, you knew. But I'm very much into wanting to go to India as well. I met a friend who, shout out, his name's Rohit. Awesome guy, and I said his name wrong for the longest time. I said Rohit, and he's like, yeah, that's the only guy who says my name wrong, so I know it's Sam. But now I purposely do it because it's kind of funny. But anyways, definitely India, just because I've always wanted to get like a handcrafted sitar and a few other native instruments that you can't really get in that vein from the U.S. And definitely, of course, my number one is Japan, just because I love the culture. I grew up learning about it, not from family or anything, but I would watch like films, and that would inspire me to go and delve even deeper into knowledge. And I don't put any country or any people on a pedestal. Everyone's human, but I have so many musicians that I love there, like Risai and Kazuke from Nocturnal Bloodlust. Just so many musicians that are very talented that I want to work with as well.
Your favorite current band that you're listening to?
Oh man, I've been jumping around, but definitely it has to be the most recent band that I've been really into. Probably is definitely Nocturnal Bloodlust, because something about the emotion that they put into the work that they make, the compositional elements of the guitarist and the vocalist, what they do, the concepts. I mean, I've been listening for a while, for a couple of years, but like seriously delving into their music and actually sitting down and learning what they're doing and applying knowledge that I'm learning from their stuff. So I've been really interested in that band for sure.
Going back to Hyperdoom.
Yeah.
So I know you guys were recording stuff. So how's the recording stuff going for that?
I actually, funny enough you ask, I just called the studio yesterday, Studio 2020 in Chicago. This is the third studio we'll be visiting, but the first one that will hopefully have material come from. I don't want to say it till it happens, because we're only here, we're not there yet, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But well, yeah, it's going good. We're working on pre-production. We're working on just finishing up finalizations on the songs for the structures, and maybe omitting certain songs that we've even played live that we don't want on this particular release. And I can't claim whether it's actually going to be an album or an EP yet. It's dependent on what our release is and what everyone agrees upon. But it's going well. We're really working on that really hard. And hardest song, I mean, anyone who's seen us live has to know this. The hardest song is going to be that instrumental, Clockwork. So that one's just makes me sweat. So yeah. So.
Okay, so Hyperdoom, but now your side projects. What are you doing with the recording for that? Are you recording anything, or what's going on with that?
Yes, I actually was working on my solo release as well. As of just a couple days ago, I had about a week ago, I'd re-begun tracking all guitars, all bass, all vocals, everything, all sitar, and sitar. And I mean, except for drums, I kept the drums because those sounded really nice. And I mean, why spend that time and energy when I have a good sounding drum track for at least track one. So that's going really well. I have the intro done. I have track one nearly finished, and the writing process is going pretty well. So I can't complain. It's going pretty good. So I'm super excited for this release, because it's like it's gonna have a lot of atmospheric elements as well as it's gonna have in the vein of that metal, but it's also gonna have just it's not gonna be as progressive as Hyperdoom or other projects that I've worked on, but it's definitely going to be relevant. But it's this album is going to be entitled Anubis. Any music theory nerds, real quick, the first song, well, not the intro, but the first actual track is based off the Phrygian scale with the raised third and fourth, so 6 notes in that scale there, so you do the math. So it's a little proggy, but it's very Egyptian tone. It's got quarter step bends and the sitars in it, so like very ancient sounding, and Middle Eastern, sort of a lot of Indian influence as well, so classical Indian music. So yeah.
Any release dates for either your own project or Hyperdoom? Any ideas? I can say definitely for both groups, Hyperdoom will be, cross your fingers, in 2017 at the latest. So hopefully within this 2016 span, but the fall and the winter will go by very fast, probably. But my solo release should be out by 2017. I'm hoping, unless again things change, but yeah, that's the I have faith that it'll work out. So since I play violin, will there be any kind of violin stuff added to your side projects, or even Hyperdoom for like a song?
I'm very interested in that concept. For this release for Hyperdoom, things haven't worked out the way that they initially were working, but we do have certain songs that, especially this like 8 minute 43-second song or something like that, that's super crazy, that I want to add some violin to. Okay. It'll be on, I can't say the second release, hopefully, probably, but we are limited to the number of songs we have thus far. But the solo album definitely is going to have some violin, some really nice delay, maybe reverby kind of sounding Egyptian trippy sounding violin stuff. So you know, atmospheric. So what you can't go wrong with like that kind of thing. So I'm working. I'm composing that still out, but you know.
So when's your guys' next show for Hyperdoom?
That will be, it's the Hominine Records bash, birthday bash, which is that the 23rd or the 9th of, or the August 23rd or the September 9th?
It's Friday, September 9th.
All right, so it is September 9th. All right. So yeah, September 9th.
September 9th, Hyperdoom is playing there, and September 9th, Debility is gonna play there, which is me. Not me, just like everyone else in the band, including myself.
Yeah, so I think the last show we played, Debility was not on the set, but I'm very fortunate to be able to be on the set with Debility, because particularly I like working with Debility a lot, because we're in very similar veins, yet different, and there's a contrast, but we're still in that metal community and hard rock community, and it's always a good ass time. So you know,
Yeah, it's fun.
So fun fact, this guy was with Hyperdoom for a little while, so you know, so expect some guest appearances in the near future, hopefully near future.
Yeah. This concludes episode 2 of In John's Car.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.